There's a number of things I love about this movie. I think the first thing is it's an original story, shot on a big scale, which seems to be missing in cinema these days. And I'm always trying to do projects where there's like such creative freedom, such space for creativity. And Project Hail Mary was such an amazing canvas to work on from that point of view, because it's not a franchise, it's not a sequel, it's original filmmaking. And so that's something that really excites me. I'm good friends with the directors Phil and Chris, and we've worked together on loads of projects before, and this felt like everyone involved was just stepping it up to like a super new level. And so that was really exciting to work on a project of such scale and size. And also it's a very different kind of, you know, let's say space science fiction movie, because it's actually got quite a lot of humor in it, as well as like scale, pathos, emotion. So it feels like a really unique film. So anything that's like unique is very exciting for me. The initial stage of this movie, we talked a lot about trying to create a score that was very organic and had very natural human elements. So we talked a lot about wood blocks, metal, steel drums, the human body, so lots of body kind of percussion, voices, because in the film Grace represents in some ways the hope of humanity, and he's left humanity behind. You know, he's most of the film is Grace on his own in a spaceship. And we had this idea that if the score was representative as much as it could be of humans, of humanity, through voices, through clapping, stomping, through percussion where you could feel the touch of the players, then that would connect this world of Earth, which is distant and gone, to where we are in the film. So the tone of this score is slightly unusual. It's a mix. I think Chris had this note, one of the directors, Chris Miller, and he had a phrase where he called it hope core, which I really liked. It was like, this film is about hope. And it's so great to work on a movie or anything that is literally about hope. So the score at its core had to have this idea of hope for the world, universe, humanity. But it also had to like kind of deliver both a sense of scale, a sense of wonder, but also a sense of comedy and peril. And it's a very complicated tightrope, this film. I think one of the most exciting parts of this film was the scale at which I could write music for, and the size and the expanse of the universe and the space is one of the most exciting blank canvases you can have as a composer. I really wanted the score to help people connect to a sense of hope, a sense of optimism, a sense of wonder in the universe, wonder in the kind of majesty of life. So I've known Phil and Chris for years now, and we have talked about this project for a long time. And one of the things that's very exciting about doing their movies, and also very terrifying about doing their movies, is they always want to make something that is totally unique, totally special. Okay, so the first conversations we had on this movie, Phil played me some Steve Reich music. There's a piece that Steve Reich did for like 3 wood blocks. And he was like, I want the whole score on a wood block. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do the whole score on a wood block. But let's start from that. Kind of one of the craziest sounds in this film, which is a big part of the film, is actually my friend's squeaky taps. Let me see if I've got this on my phone. So I went to, I stayed in this house. This friend of mine's got this house, as the song goes, a very big house in the country. And I was staying there, and I was using the bathroom, and it had the squeakiest tap like I'd heard. It's like, you turn it on, it's like, ah. And I was like, that is a great sound. So this is actually the actual recording. So let's see if I can play this. Oh, maybe don't say his name. This is the actual recording. So when you turn the taps on, you got this sound. Play it for a bit longer. And you hear a little bit of the water coming out there. And so what I did was, it's such an interesting tone because it's actually like a pure tone. And so sampled that and built an instrument out of a lot of these recordings of this tap. And what was sort of weird and fascinating about that was my kind of way into the film, really, was that tap. I started with that noise, and it had such a, like, slightly unstable quality, but still very musical. And it also had these droplets of water in it. So I wrote a whole bunch of pieces just using that tap. And those were played on set to Ryan, and Ryan would listen to them while they were shooting to get into character. So while at the end of the movie, we've got like choirs, orchestras, like steel drums, percussion, people clapping, stamping, we've got everything on it. At the very beginning, it started with just the sound of a tap.